day.
Good morning, you guys. Good morning.
Holy shit.
Good afternoon to some of you.
My guy's hot.
Got some loud volume over here. Luke, this is Matt.
Matt.
It's a Novo podcast. You know, we're trying to be a little bit more professional this morning, so we changed up the studio today. Matt, tell everybody what happened.
We basically did a complete overhaul of the studio. Looks a lot different. We got all the things we said. Actually, now we destroyed our Wi-Fi at the original location.
It's like dead, right?
Yeah. So what actually had happened was we were playing Fortnite. We're both Fortnite gamers.
We make money.
And for those gamers out there that know what ping is, basically how, correct me if I'm wrong, how quickly your internet is connecting to the game. Ours sucked. Ours was at 70, which is bad. Luke tried it without the plug-in, and it was 10.
Yeah, we ditched the, when he says plug-in, the Ethernet, the plug. For most of you out there, probably like me, you just refer to everything as Wi-Fi. So internet is Wi-Fi. So we had the internet with no Wi-Fi, which was more powerful. But we fried it. We just basically destroyed the system.
Called Frontier. They basically said, yeah, it's gone. Someone will be out Tuesday. So
the cups, special edition cup today. So we just got a lot of new shit. But
yeah, so we're trying mobile studio today. We're at the Studio B, or Studio K, I should say.
Yeah.
So if you want to like talk smack on the video quality, like Luke and I know, it's not the Sony today, it's the Mac.
But we're hoping this week, last week we didn't podcast, this week or the week before that, where mics apparently were hooked up to the camera. So hopefully the quality of the mic is better today. Yeah, man. What else is new?
Yeah, how's it been going, dude? What's been going on in your world?
Well, like I was saying, we're trying to be more professional. So, we were doing this like weird intro. We'll change the music up, like who I am. This is Matt. We're both CrossFit coaches. I work at Procore.
Work at Sonos.
And this is us on Sunday mornings podcasts. But yeah, that's the professional side. What's been new with me? Vince was here last week, so no podcast. Daylight savings, Uncle Joe, that holiday. We got to get rid of that holiday.
Recovered?
No, I think I'm still tired. This morning, I didn't want to wake up. This morning, I was actually like, fuck, we got to move this podcast to a different hour. I'm too tired.
I think 9's better.
Mm-hmm.
We're close to 9, right?
Yeah, I think 8's just like it forces us to get up at too early. So I think that's going to be the new move, or at least for now.
Yeah.
We could start also just doing like Saturday nights or Sunday evening podcasts, like right before dinner. But we get carried away.
Yeah.
Sometimes they linger on for hours. But
Sunday night might be good too.
Yeah, it might be.
What do you think? Throw up a poll.
Yeah, Cass isn't here, dude. I've been trying to get a hold of that motherfucker for weeks. But got any icebreakers for us, dude?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about icebreakers.
I thought of a few. I thought of actually some. It's gonna be a little bit hard since we don't have the tech guy, but a couple different things.
I did have one, but I forgot it. So go ahead.
All right. Well, mine's not really an icebreaker. Do you know? I was like, travel's been on my mind. Yeah. If anybody out there knows me, I used to love to travel. I still do, but I haven't traveled in a while. I guess the latest travel was my road trip out here. Yeah. If you want to call that travel.
You've done that too many times.
Yeah, it wasn't a travel.
It was just part of the process.
Yeah, just going. What do you think the top most traveled cities are?
Top most traveled cities?
Yeah. Like what would be your top 5 in your mind?
Let's think about it. So obviously definitely something from Europe, right?
Most traveled city in the world. We're going the world.
The world.
Okay. So you're number 1. Drop these in the chat, guys.
I would assume one of them would be in Europe. So I'd have to narrow that down. I don't know which one it would be. It's either got to be Rome, Paris.
Kinda loves the K-Cups.
London. Rome, Paris, London. Wow, my geography sucks. What's the
Rome?
What's the big city in
Paris,
Germany?
London, Munich. Are your top 4? So you got all.
Well, I'm just thinking. I'm saying one of them's got to be from there.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Paris. Okay. Not 100%.
Number 1 city in the world traveled, Paris.
Is somewhere in the top 5.
Okay. Well, I need your number.
All right, hold on. Then I'm gonna say, let's see, in the world. Obviously, I guess something's got to be from US. I'm gonna throw New York in there.
Okay. Good call. I got worried you weren't gonna put that in there.
Then this is where it gets gray for me. Like cities. Bali's up and coming. It seems too new.
Okay, we got to pull these up also at some point.
If we're thinking of Aussie, I don't think many people go to Aussie.
Easier if I pull it here.
Right?
Yeah. So, all right. So we got so far, I'm still writing this down. We got Paris, NYC.
Yep.
Okay. What else?
Top 5 in the world that people.
Let's just go top 3 if you're struggling.
Top 3. Even that, I would have to pull from Europe again. I'd probably say Rome.
Rome, okay. My 3, I'm gonna put. You gotta remember, dude. The world's fucking big. I'm gonna throw NYC number 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw like Tokyo, Japan number 2. I'm gonna throw Sydney, Australia at number 3, and then I'll put. We're just gonna do top 3.
We can. I mean,
let's
hard.
do top 3 because I think
I wanted to say Tokyo.
I think it's gonna go a different direction. Let me pull up top most traveled cities in the world.
What about Singapore?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Top traveled cities in we got 2022, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, CNN reveals. Oh, my guy with the number 1, Paris, dude. For the second year in a row, the French capital has been named the world's most attractive tourist destination. Top 100 cities 2022. Number 2, Dubai. I fucking forgot about that city.
I thought it was too new.
Yeah. Number 3, Amsterdam. Number 4, Madrid. Number 5, Rome. 6 is London. I was going to say London. Munich, 7. Berlin, 8. Barcelona, 9. And 10 is New York City. Interesting. Wow. Way different.
The U.S. is...
All right. More reputable account. I like to listen to Forbes a little bit more. The world's 20 best cities in 2022. So, right, these aren't what we're looking for. I'm looking for the top city destinations. So these are just like their ratings. These aren't even what the world, like I want to see the census of what's being thrown out there. Top traveling cities 2022, where to travel.
Have you been for that list that you just shared? How many of those have you been to?
I've been to England. I've been to, technically I've been to Dubai. My plane has stopped there and I was there for 30 hours. I've been to Paris, been to Amsterdam.
I heard the Dubai airport was nuts.
Yeah, I was in Qatar, so technically not Dubai.
Oh, okay.
I was in a whole different country, but I was in the Middle East. Yeah. So this website doesn't say. This just gives you like kind of like fucking shit. The city of Philadelphia. The city attracts 20 million fewer tourists than New York City in 2019, but across Philadelphia, tourists, blah, blah, blah. A bunch of people love Philly. Go Birds. All right, we'll go off of our first list. So pretty interesting.
Got 4 viewers. What's up, gang? Where are the places you guys have
what's the
traveled?
Top places. What's your favorite place you've traveled? I have my heart set on Asia.
Me too. My favorite place obviously is Tokyo.
What's your favorite out of
just Japan in general? Yeah. I just love that place.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. It like just speaks to me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's got everything. You make it what it is. I'm just like every place, but for whatever reason, I just feel like the way they do design, the way it flows, it's organized, but it's artsy at the same time. I feel like that's just like speaks to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I felt about Asia. I don't think it's artsy. Like walking around Vietnam, I wouldn't say it was artsy. I just kind of get
Vietnam was very different. Like Japan's very like intentional design. It's like all I could say.
Architectural.
But everything's media. Like there for a purpose and like a reason it's planned.
Yeah. Asia or like Vietnam and Thailand, I thought was just like, hey, here's this really third world nation city. Yeah. Maybe not Bangkok, but I'm not going to call it third world nation. And I don't know if I would call, I mean, you guess I have to. Majority of the population lives in poverty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Like Vietnam was crazy. Where we were at in Da Nang, different. I'm curious what that would be considered.
Da Nang was like a vacation spot.
Yeah, vacation spot. Yeah. But then you drive south and like Hanoi and you're like, here we go.
Yeah.
This is like where people are living out of their car.
I mean, you ate like a restaurant on the side of a train track.
Yeah, that was in Hanoi.
Crazy.
Yeah. That was like, yeah. I mean, definitely poverty. I mean, the place I stayed in was like a room with a bed and that's it.
Yeah.
I loved Amsterdam. Paris was fucking beautiful. I loved that city.
Paris was cool.
I went to the French Open there. It was really cool.
Yeah. Did you do the usual things in Paris?
Yeah, the Louvre. I love that stuff. Like going and seeing all the Egyptian stuff.
Yeah, the Egyptian stuff's rad.
Egypt's on my list. One of my coworkers is going there now. He actually invited me.
Sick.
Yeah, he was like, asked me. He's like, dude, you should go traveling with me because we were talking when we did like our get to know yous.
Yeah.
He used to live here. Now he lives in Texas, but he's a cool dude. He only likes me because of the Tesla. He's like, I only like you because you're growing green.
I was really into Egypt when I was younger. Never went, and then like the news has kind of painted Egypt as like, I don't know, sketch.
Yeah. detrimental, dangerous. Yeah. But no, there's a lot of places out there I haven't been. I've seen a lot of the US. I've seen a lot of the fucking US.
Same.
Not all of it,
But
definitely.
you know the interesting thing, though, I think I'll speak for both of us. How much of South America have you seen?
None.
Yeah, it's weird.
None,
It's
yeah.
right there.
Yeah. Kendall's seen more of it, and she's only traveled a few.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I've done like Mexico.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's considered North America, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Or Central.
No, I think it's North.
Is
Yeah,
it?
I mean, I think at one point, yeah, maybe they might have called it Central, but it's definitely North. But that's on my bucket list as well. I want to see Peru. I want to see Colombia. Same deal. One of the
Chile.
coworkers I just went, I work with closely. He just went there for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
That's it.
Argentina's down there.
Yeah, our boy Rick. He's gone to Argentina at some point.
Yeah, he'll tell us all about it,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But travel destinations, that's a deep topic.
Yeah.
But layering in, reason I asked that, I wanted to talk about values today, dude. They're important in my eyes. I think I had never actually learned about values and knew about values until Affiliate U.
I feel like you have a better grasp on values than myself too, so you could educate me.
I'll try. I don't know if I have a better grasp. I think I've just thought about it deeper or tried to be more intentional. I mean, it comes to mind years ago. I remember one of my friends like trying to make me think about it and trying to get me to think about values. And I think I was young. This was like, we're not trying to drop names, so I'll make you let you try to figure out who it was who tried to mentor me for a couple of years in a row in my life. But tried to get me to think about values, and I never like grasped the idea. But how would you define them? Because you have a grasp, but maybe you don't have a grasp of your own values, or maybe.
How would I give a specific value?
Yeah,
like what do you think I would call a value?
If, like somebody came up to you and they were like, "Hey man, I gotta write down my 3 values," and I don't know how. What would you tell them?
Man, I always try to keep it simple. I think I would say like think about things that are deep but important to you, but not specific. Like a value isn't like I want to wake up every day at 8 a.m. and make a coffee and drink it.
Mm-hmm. No,
like, it's not that specific.
Yeah,
right? It's
no,
you have to like dig deeper.
It's
like,
more of like
why
exactly. It's like, why are you waking up every morning on a Sunday, getting your cup of coffee, and choose to go sit outside with your shirt off and sit in the sun by yourself? Like nobody's allowed to come near you. Like that might be somebody's like routine. In my eyes, you could like if it's really specific and it means a lot to them. I would classify it as a value of like, hey, what is this? What is this doing for you, and why are you doing it? So. Like to your point, if you're going to help somebody pick or define them, it would be like, hey, if we're going to write down our top 3 values, we need to understand a couple things.
Yeah.
So a lot of it, but we could dissect that. Like the one big thing is why. I think why is that? Why is this thing of value to you? Because if you can't answer that, is it really a value?
I'm not actually crying. It's just Studio B is a lot for my allergies.
Is it beating you up?
That's like it's coming down.
Do you need medicine?
I just felt like you were staring at me. And he's like, "Is that why I'm making him cry?" It's not the case.
What's the issue in Studio B?
It's just something I'm allergic to. Something.
Do you want a tissue, dude?
Yeah. But yeah, to your point, I agree.
Probably Dust. I don't know if the owner is here often. Yeah. So Studio B owner is just MIA. Hasn't been home for a couple of weeks. This is more of like their vacation house.
One thing that I think is like a pet peeve of mine with values, though, and this just has to do with my personality, is I hear people's values and I go, oh yeah, like I have that one, but then I'm like, oh, can I have the same value as somebody?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, I think that's a big problem. And when I was trying to create my own or come up with my own, that was kind of the big thing. I was like, everybody has these same fucking values. Everybody's is the same, but those words, those values, just mean one little thing. It's like it's really different, right? When somebody says, hey, one of my values is health. My fucking version of health looks way different than somebody else's. So like if somebody says, well, one of my values is health too. It's like, all right, well, let's define what both of those values look like.
Yeah.
So like, right. If I have the conversation about health and what that looks like around me, it's very different because some people look at health of like health and happiness end up becoming the same thing for some people.
Yeah, I agree. Happiness is another big one that people throw out there.
But you got to define it, or like success or whatever. I guess simple terms make this easier. My top 5 values are
you have them. Yeah,
adventure, personal growth and development, happiness.
Intentionally keep these small. Like one to 2 words.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because then I like try to define them because I also believe that those definitions can change.
Yeah.
I have like that belief, like, hey, if you stick to these core things, for the most part, it kind of writes who you are. I think you can have more than 5, but I think like these are the most important to me, and like maybe we'll dissect it, and you can agree or disagree.
Yeah.
I'm
sure there's some limit. I mean, you can't have 20 values.
No, I agree, but I think also,
that's good.
I think, all right, it's my decision to choose what my values are. I'd be interested to see if you agree with them. I think you've heard them before, but personal growth and development is 1. I've combined that into 1: personal growth, development, adventure, health, family, and did I say health already? I always get confused.
You missing one?
Yeah. I at one point I've altered the word family and turned it into like tribe, because I like
That's a hard one.
Because I like to bring more people into it rather than just just my family. Because I feel like I'm really close with a lot of people that aren't my family in that sense.
Yeah.
And then that changes too all the time. But dissecting it is the interesting part. We're trying to understand, right? If you got to define it, would you agree with any of those that I've said? Would you say like, hey, looking at Luke, like, I think he follows those most of the time.
Yeah, definitely.
If not all the time.
Yeah.
Which one stands out the most?
The most interesting one is adventure.
Why?
Because I see you also as a very routine person.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'd have you I feel like I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to encapsulate this urges you have to travel when they come, and trying to fit that into your value list. But at the same time, you also do like routines and habits.
100%.
Even when you travel.
100%. So interesting you say that, because I've tried, when I was writing these down, and like I said, I tried to put definitions to them or like explain them. That was one of the hard parts. So it was like, all right, when I say adventure, what do I mean? So I tried to remove, like, it doesn't necessarily correlate with travel.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, when I do these things, like if I'm traveling, I thought we did a lot of crazy shit in Asia, where like, because I was really disappointed in my adventure in Australia. Like, like you said, it was just routine. It was like, hey, this is the life you're in, and this is what you're going to do. It was like, I had plenty of money sitting in the bank to go do things. It wasn't that expensive. I have no problem living. Like, I mean, I shared an office with you as my bedroom one time. Like, I don't have a problem with those odd things.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I feel like you can make it adventure, like you were talking about earlier, like these words, you can make them specific to you. So like, one person, and like, it sounds like this isn't true for you, but one person might look at adventure like they're just starting a new life in a new place. So like, they're getting a job. They're falling into routines. They're going to favorite stores, and like, that's their adventure, right? They're just creating a new life. But there's the other end where like adventure could mean like, I want to go on these crazy expeditions, hike up Mount Everest.
Out of a plane.
Jump out of a plane. Like, that could be adventurous too. So it's just like,
I think I try to look at both of those things and see where they both fall in play, though. So it's I think I do both of them, to be honest, or try to. I'm not the most adventurous person. Like, if somebody said we're going to jump out of this plane, but I'm good. Yeah. I'm not doing that.
That's one of those things. Like, I just don't care that much to do.
Yeah. It's like, why?
Maybe it's fear, but
it's fear, but also it's like, and for me, it's nothing. It's just like, I'm going to have so much adrenaline, I'm not going to enjoy it. Yeah. So it's like, all right, whatever, remove cost from it. I'm going to jump out of this plane. What am I supposed to be doing besides just seeing the earth beneath me? And like, there's the potential of me dying. And do I want that? No, I'd much rather be like doing anything
dream
else.
That I was on a mission in space on a ship. And it was like the reality of like, if you fuck one thing up on this, like landing this ship, you're just fucking out in space, and that's how you die.
That was your dream?
Yeah.
The
just
fuck
like
do you dream about?
Realization. Well, that wasn't like the dream. The dream was like, I was like on some ship piloting in it, and like I had to like put this nozzle into the fuel hookup thing or whatever. I don't know what it was. But like, it was like super important. And like, when I woke up, I was just like, holy shit, I don't know if I really want to go to space and like have that pressure of like, you know, one false move and it's like a new territory.
And then you're dead.
Like, yeah. But again, like, to adventure, that could be another person's adventure. Like, they want to explore things that people haven't explored, or seen things people haven't seen before.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where it comes in for me, is like, I think you kind of are the same. We don't like doing things that other people have done for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I think the big interest for me was Asia, like going to Vietnam in particular. Like, everybody I talked to, nobody's gone there. So I could be like, oh, I'm exploring. And it wasn't like to have an upper hand on people. It was like, I want to explore something that other people haven't seen. Where like when you go visit it, like when you go to the Eiffel Tower, you're like, wow, the pictures look great. And when you're there, there's like fucking hundreds of people. You wait in a line. Same thing when you go to any other like big thing. Like to get into the Louvre, we sat for hours.
Yeah, I remember telling Eric, it was like, dude, it was so cool, like being the only like white person.
Yeah, American, right?
Yeah.
Because it was like, I mean, Asia. I'm assuming Tokyo probably had a more like American population than like. Do you remember anybody in Vietnam?
No, and Trilly and I went to this island in Korea that only like Koreans and Chinese people go to.
Yeah.
So like it was just nice to like you never heard a lick of English.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, it was nice in the sense of like I don't know, it like makes you feel isolated, but at the same time, like
that scares
like
some
you're
people,
in
though.
like a new place.
Yeah, a foreign place, something new. Like
yeah.
You're really immersed in the culture.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah,
kind of just like learning and pushing you to like different boundaries.
Trillionaire, if you're there, can you drop a comment? Like I don't know if our viewers are trying to talk to us and it's not loading or something. It's quiet, but I see a lot of viewers.
I'm assuming it's just broken. It just doesn't work.
Yeah,
because I know you guys love to talk to us.
All right, so you got adventure. It's one of your big values.
Health. I think that's very different from other people because somebody's going to think right away because Luke's just like a Nazi with food or this and this. It doesn't correlate with food. It's like health is happiness. And then how do I? All right. No comments, you sons of a bitch.
Chat, drop your values in the comments. Trail you too.
Yeah, just drop them in. See what
if you have them.
Okay, so health. Like if I really rip it apart and dissect it, health. I kind of want I'll dig in that, and then I want to kind of talk about something related, that podcast we listened to.
Yeah.
I want to kind of talk about that. Yeah, if anybody's got some values or anything,
or needs help with figuring out their values,
get in here. Yeah. It's not that we're experts. We're not experts, but if we ask the right discovery questions, maybe we can pull them out of you.
So health is interesting, though, because I feel like that relates to education a lot, like knowing about health.
Yeah. But do you think you have to be a know-it-all for that stuff?
No, but I mean, mainstream media paints one picture for healthcare.
Okay.
Versus like,
would you say
perspective?
Okay. So would you say that I'm like somebody against the mainstream healthcare?
Yeah.
And
I think that you're looking for deeper healthcare. Like mainstream media is going to be like, yeah, go on a walk and, have your cereal in the morning and you'll be good. Like that's basically it.
Okay. So yeah,
drink orange juice.
I think mainstream health is like talking to somebody who's on their deathbed, essentially. Like, hey, you're going to die. Like you weigh 400 pounds.
Yeah.
The best thing that we could do for you right now is like, just stop eating what you're eating because like drinking orange juice is going to be way less calories than drinking 6 Coca-Colas. So if you're looking for your sugar fix, let's drink that. You're going to lose weight there. So like, I don't disagree with it. I think it's just to the extreme. It's like, hey, let's go for a walk because yes, walking is healthy for you. Like do fucking walking. If you walk, if me and you stopped working out for a month and just walked the dogs every day, we would lose some muscle mass. Obviously that goes hand in hand, but we would still remain healthy.
Yeah.
We would not see an increase in our blood pressure. We would probably honestly see a decrease from like less stress and less central nervous system destroying. But okay. I mean, yeah, maybe, yeah, you're right in that sense of, do I go against the methodology maybe of like regular medicine? Absolutely. Like, I don't disagree with somebody being like, cool, you have high blood pressure here, take this medicine. You'll be good in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Like it will balance itself out. It's like, cool, here's the Band-Aid. Let's take the medicine so you don't die.
I mean, the reason I'm saying that is like the number one person you're going to go to for health is the doctor.
Yeah.
And that's probably the last person you yourself.
Well, today's medicine. Yeah, exactly. 100%. I mean, recently I went to a doctor and that's kind of the first thing they said to me was like, hey, what's going on? I explained why I was there. And within 2 seconds was like, wait, let's prescribe this medicine. And I was like, are you shitting me? Literally shitting me. But okay. So kind of defining that, let's rewind really quick. I define health as, for me, and it's not a sentence, not a complete sentence, but it's more of like the overall kind of took a little bit of CrossFit, did it with my own personal life.
Oh.
Becky and Vince.
Vince. Becky, how are you?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
Good. You've got some values to share?
I walk every day, Matt.
That's good. That's a good start.
So health, but
and then I do my workout at night.
What's the workout? Usually CrossFit based?
No, she tends to do the same workout, and I tried it. I think a little bit of variety is going to benefit her. What do you guys think?
Well, we're talking about value, so we're not going to rip apart anybody's beliefs today, Vince. But I'd be interested what some of your values are. We have some people in the comments saying, do you need to share similar values with your partner to have a good relationship? Do either of you know what values are?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
What are some values you guys share?
Family.
Yeah, I could see that.
Health.
Cooking.
Well, I don't think cooking is a value.
Well,
I think
it's a way of life.
Of creating a family, or kind of creating a family environment, maybe through cooking, through family meals. I think it's a value.
You're both nurturers. You're both carers.
Yes, I think if you're going to say
caregiving, yeah.
Cooking, I think, yeah, caregiving's a better word, or maybe that's related to health, or maybe cooking is happiness for you guys. Like,
Yeah,
hey, if like you say, what brings me happiness? It could be like, well, I love cooking. It makes me ecstatic. It makes me feel super happy and euphoric. Whereas like Vince loves construction, right? But
I don't know that I'd go that far. I think what Vince loves is, like, I just was fortunate enough to be able to spend a week with you guys, and I think that time to me was really personally valuable, and I don't know how I would translate that to say that that's a core value in my life, but it is. I guess it's love of family, love of kids.
Well, that's easy. Like, was it the place? Was it just being in California? Or was it just being around good old Lucas?
You'd have to define. You'd have to dig apart.
It was being around.
I think
Luke.
it was a combination of everything. Certainly, the people were first and foremost.
You and Trill.
Certainly, I do have a love for that part of California. I'm not going to say, the desert as much as definitely the beach, the mountains, the ocean. Yeah, it was. I don't know. How would you translate that to a value? Nature?
Yeah, I'm trying to think in my head. I'm trying to like take a couple of the big words, and it goes back to me as like family.
Yeah, I think family is your one
or tribe, maybe I think is like a good word, or like a little bit larger than that, because it's not solely just the family. It's more of like the important people around you.
But with family, like, or with tribe, Vince, who's your best friend?
I don't know that. I never say that I have a best friend.
Yeah, see, so I think for him it's more like
family,
blood family.
That's true.
Matt, I'm pointing right at him.
Yeah, it's his son.
Yeah, family.
Yeah, family.
But I would be interested to kind of like really, I mean, again, you might have multiple values that help define one of them.
Yeah, I have multiple values. All right, with that, I'm sweating like a pig. I was cleaning leaves out of the gutters. It's still free here.
It's 33 degrees here.
Good to see you guys. Good to take part in the podcast, and catch you guys later.
All right.
Don't worry, I couldn't have figured it out.
Goodbye.
Thanks for joining.
No problem. Have
a
bye.
See, that's the hard part. Values are hard to figure out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I was telling this to Trill because she's reading a relationship book.
What book? Okay, he doesn't know.
It's What You're Attracted to, was what we were talking about last night.
The attachment styles?
Yeah, attachment styles. And I was like, I was asking all these questions. I mean, she only read like 10 pages or something so far.
Yeah.
But I was like, I felt like it's easier. Isn't it easier to like analyze someone else than yourself?
100%.
Yeah.
It's easy to see from the outside and be like, I mean, look how when we do when we're coaching. Like, dude, keep your hands down.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Tighten your belly. Where it's like, we like, easiest one for me is to relate. It's like, I sit there and I tell people keep their feet together on muscle ups, and all of a sudden I'm doing my fucking muscle ups flaring around like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you can't see yourself.
Yeah, but I know deep down to change it, which is like the kind of layers in a little bit of like, it's really hard to see yourself.
Yeah. But digging into Trill's question, do you need to share similar values of your partner to have a good relationship? I don't know if you need to share them, but I think they need to complement each other. So like, let's use family, for example. If family is super important to you, But to me, I don't really give a shit about family or
Yeah.
tribe for that matter. Like, I feel like we're going to collide there. Cause then when you're like, I want to go see my mom, I'm going to be like, I'm not coming.
Yeah. I would agree. Okay. Yeah. So if you wait, repeat that.
So like, let's use the family value, right?
Yeah.
Let's say it's super valuable that you spend time with your family. Like when you spend the majority of time with your family, let's say you're like Vince, you get energy from that makes you happy. And then for me, it's like, I really just hate family. I just want to be me and my partner, and we're just doing stuff, just us two.
Okay.
Whatever value that is. I don't know. Maybe we just call that, I'm more like, I don't know, solo, independent. We'll use independent. That's usually important to people. So I'm super independent. You're more family. Like, I feel like sometimes that's going to cause issues.
Okay. Would you say you're independent?
No,
I wouldn't say that. I don't think so.
I mean, have you met me?
Yeah, you're always with people.
I'm always with somebody.
Okay. So based off of that, to answer Trill's question a little bit more, I don't agree with anybody saying that. I don't think you have to align. I don't think your values have to be the same. Is that the question?
No, she's just saying, do you need to share similar values for in order to have a good relationship?
Yes and no. I think there's like the fine line. It's like values of health. If Luke is like defining health as like, hey, like, let's eat whole foods and this and all this other stuff. And like, right, I'm hardcore carnivore, but my partner is like hardcore vegan. If they view health in that way, I need to be somewhat okay with it, right? I need to accept it, which is challenging for me because it's like we have our strong beliefs. So I don't know. You have to somewhat align on it. Like, you can't be like hardcore where it's like every time I go to cook dinner, my partner's throwing shit at me because I'm cooking a steak. Yeah. And then
I think we agree.
Yeah.
They can be different, but they can't be conflicting.
Yeah.
So like if I was to take Trill, for example, with the health, right? Trill, I'm not saying this is you, but you've mentioned things like this. Like, all Trill cares about is happiness, and she'll do and eat and take whatever medicine it is to make her feel happy.
Yeah.
That might not go with someone with a goal like you, where health is important. You're trying to live as long as possible. And like, you're okay, like just eating a piece of steak literally every meal. That's all you're going to eat.
Well, I think that's like, and again, how you define it, right? If you're going to define, however I define health, because that's also argumentative. Like, somebody can be like, well, I don't know if I agree with that Luke's going to live forever because he doesn't take pharmaceuticals. Because you might be right. Yeah. Like, I might not live as long as somebody else because I didn't have the help of medicine. And I like, there's a part of me that believes that. It's like, right, if I get cancer, I'm going to need medicine to probably survive. Like, yes, there's a chance that a non-medical, what do they call that? Like a holistic approach will potentially help you, or you'll die. And it's like medicine probably is in your favor there. Or to like that point, like, I have migraines. There's probably, I've tried every holistic thing. I need medicine at that point to like make my life better or to be happy. Some people define health as happiness. Like you just said, like somebody might be like, cookies make me fucking happy. I'm going to eat them every day. Where it's like, okay, I guess I have to like see eye to eye with you. Or like you said, we need to somewhere meet in the middle for a relationship to work better. Like, okay, Luke's the extreme, like, right, won't eat sugar, won't drink, won't do this, won't do that, only eats these foods, only eats like natural foods, we'll call it. And then the partner's the complete opposite, only eats cookies all day, every day, pizza and cookies and In-N-Out. It's like, would that relationship work? Probably collide at a point. Like, at some point down the road, if kids came into the picture, or family, or somebody wanted to go out, there'd be an issue. Do you think?
I think that is like a great question. Like, when kids, let's not like, even if you're not planning on having kids, if you just take the perspective of if you have a child, like, how are you and this partner going to want to impose or kind of share your value with that child? Because like, that's where the biggest, I feel like, issues are going to come out.
I think it's the happy medium is like, if I believe eating beef livers is super beneficial, and I don't even think you have to prove to somebody like, hey, here's the fucking journal article that says, or the 50 journal articles or medical written papers. It's like, hey, I really believe this. I feel really good. You feel really good. Like, I think we should give the kid some sort of beef liver, raw, puree, desiccated. They have it in baby food, whatever. I want that for because it makes me happy. It's not going to kill them. It's not going to harm them. They're a baby. It will grow on them. Like, they might not like it day one, but at some point it's going to be like the rest of us. Like, okay, it's fine. And I feel better. But then I think the other piece would be like, they're nauseous, and I think ginger helps them feel better. It's like, okay, well, I guess I have to draw the fine line. I might not believe in it, but here's your ginger. Like, have it. As long as like there's the happy medium, maybe you're getting the middle ground. I'm not a parent. I'd be curious what like other people would like, what their opinions would be on that.
Oh yeah, I mean you could do a whole episode on parenting
Yeah.
and like how that changes the relationship
Yeah.
or like what it pulls out of your relationship.
Yeah.
Because I think like having a kid that you're trying to raise the right way might look different for two people.
Which I think would be the hard part. From that podcast we listened to the other day that Kendall sent us, his belief is like a relationship, and again, can be friends, doesn't have to be a romantic partner, but your values, they don't need to align. You just need to stop trying to make your values their values.
Yeah.
Like I can't walk into your life and be like, you're not a vegan anymore. You're a fucking carnivore. And here's why. And I believe in all this and all X, Y, and Z. Right. I have the issue of going into some like a friendship or whatever and doing it with CrossFit and all these other things, but I'm not trying to like make you do it. I'm like, hey, I think I want to see you be the best person you can. I think this will help you with those issues you have. Like you want to be healthier and fitter and you want to be able to do more. I think CrossFit would be beneficial because here's why. You make more friends. The coaches are there helping you. You don't know how to squat now. You say like one of your values is longevity. Like we meet you all the way there. I think you should try it. I'm never like try CrossFit or we're not doing this. Like we're not going to hang out. We're not going to date. We're not going to be friends.
Shit. Well, maybe I'll retract that. Maybe you don't need similar values. Maybe you could have conflicting values and I think knowing them would help. So like if we go back to my example of like you really value family, I am really just all about independence. I want nothing to do with family. I can still be like, well, we both need to kind of like form that contract, but I can be like, yeah, man, like go spend time with your family today. Yeah. I'm going to go do,
and that's exactly where a relationship would work perfect. Or like,
but both of us have to be like you have to be like, all right, Matt doesn't care about family, so I'm not going to drag him into it. This is something I need. And then I need to be like, all right, this is something Luke needs. So like
that, I think I agree. But I think here's what would happen at that point though. It takes me back to like thinking people feel you need to do things with them to make them happy. So it's not like, okay, well, I'm going to go out with you tonight because drinking is important to you and you want to go to the bar. So I'm going to go with you. I don't think that's it. No, that's compromise. And that's like, that doesn't make anybody happy. First of all, you shouldn't be with that person because you don't like it at all. And they're going to make you do it like regularly. Correct.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, I should be like, yeah, go ahead, go have a drink.
Yeah. But
like, why do I need to be there?
Agree. That's where we're on the same page, where it's like the other side of it. People believe that you need to be compromised. Like, hey, I want to do this because it makes me happy and you should be there because it makes me happy. And it's like, no, I don't think that's where it aligns. It's like you said, the simpler way is like fitness. Like, hey, one of my values is you need to be just like physically active, whether that's going for a run every day, walking the dog. Like, obviously I believe CrossFit's the best one, but if somebody was like, I'm going to go to Orange Theory, I'd be like, cool. I hope you have fun.
But I feel like that you could boost that up to that just relates to health.
Yeah.
Like you want your person
just to be healthy. Yeah. It's like, but I don't care if you do CrossFit or not. I think it's the best. And I think you'll have more fun. And I think it's more enjoyable. And I honestly think everybody will end up there at some point who goes into the functional world rather than like F45 people burn out. It's like 45 minutes of fucking grind every day. It's just a matter of when they grind out or like when they get bored, but go do it. Go do it. Like all I need is somebody to be who's physically active in that sense. Because if I want to go for a hike or if I'm like, cool, we're going on to Peru, but we're going to Machu Picchu and we're hiking it. It's 4 days. Cool. Let's do it.
That's where I'm at though. That's where we share that value. Like I want to just be able to like, someone hits me up and like, yeah, we're going to go hike Machu Picchu. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And not that, I got to create a 4-month training regimen, prep for this event. Like,
and it's not a slight at anybody. Like Machu Picchu would be hard because like they say, like when you go to a certain altitude, you start puking.
Yeah.
So like you could train for that. I'm not saying that. My thought is more simple. It's like, I just want my partner and me to align on that sense. It's like, hey, one of my values is adventure. Are you able to do that with me? No, because you're sedentary. You can't do it. Like that's going to be a problem because I'm going to want to go walk the streets of Rome for 14 hours and walk 40 miles in like 3 days.
But what if your partner was like, yeah, go ahead and do that. I'm going to be chilling here in Rome watching TV.
No, I wouldn't like that.
Is that because that conflicts with another value?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is like personal growth and development. How are you developing and growing watching TV on a vacation in Europe?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I would think it would be more like your family
or that tribe. Yeah. Or like their culture, whatever. Yeah. But again, it's like
doing things together. Though.
Yeah. And I don't think it has to be 24/7.
Yeah.
Like if I got to a really long day at work, right? I'm okay with being like, hey, can we go fucking shower and go to bed? Or like, hey, I haven't played video games with my friends in weeks. I'm going to play video games. Or Like, you're gonna go out with your friends, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm down to just not do anything. Or like, hey, I want to walk the dog. Come walk the dog with me. Okay, sure. You need it tonight because you just asked me to.
Yeah.
Like meeting somebody in that middle ground, finding different things, and these are also like, then it removes like take values out, and then it becomes morals.
Yeah.
And it's like, and how well you want to support that person, and all those things, like the personal growth and personal development on my end, that translates into my friends and partners, and I want them to want the same, which is difficult.
Yeah.
And if they don't want it, I'm okay with that. But I want to help them become the best version of themselves. So
That's hard though, because
yeah,
you got to make sure that
they want that.
Well, that you meet them where they're what they think the best version of themselves.
Yeah,
It's not Luke's
exactly.
version of the
I
best
agree.
version of themselves.
And I don't think I do that. I think
Yeah.
it's more of like somebody says to me, I don't feel physically good. And it's like, I've been there. I get it. Like, and I've tried X, Y, and Z. Here's what works the best for me. Try it. Like,
Yeah.
here's the desiccated pills from Heart and Soil. Try it. I think it will work. Simple. Or like, simple thing. Like, hey, my shoulder hurts. Like, cool. I've been there. I've had shoulder surgery 2 times. Like, here's what I did. X, Y, and Z. Here's a really good doctor. Go to spinal care. Like, I want to see you become the best version of yourself. And those are really simple pieces.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, that's the simple version of it. How can we make that? How can we expand on that? How can we grow on that?
Yeah.
And like, I want to see people become the best version of themselves in life without my viewpoints getting on them. And I think, like you said, that's the hard part, because it could sometimes lead to that.
Yeah.
But I think I do a good job. I think you do a good job of it too. Like when we say to people like, hey, eat some liver, we're joking. We're not saying eat the fucking liver, but we're also like suggesting like, hey, this might be good for you. Like, it makes us feel better. We don't like, they fucking don't taste good. Like eating a fucking liver in general, like 90% of the time, I'm not like, this is great. Like there's 10% of the chance I'm like, wow, that had no taste.
I think the smaller the changes you can request of people, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like with diet, it's like, hey, are you eating bread? All right, how about you eat bread once a week?
Yeah.
And try that for a little bit.
Okay. Yep. But
and then we work to liver, and then we work to like deeper things.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I think we're both trying to help people. I don't know how I would write that into a value. Another value I would have is like a question everything, but I don't also know how to word that.
I think the one might be leadership. One of the values might be leadership. It's
yours?
like, yeah,
That missing one.
Yeah, the missing one. Because to answer that question, leadership in my eyes is, and I say this all the time at work, is like, you can't just be like, a leader doesn't mean you're the dictator. It's not like, hey, I'm the one that tells you everything you're going to do, and here's how you fucking do it. It's more of like, I'm going to work with you. I want to talk to you. I think I do it in the gym, and I've learned more at Birdie's course was like, there's different ways to do this. Certain people learn different ways, and how are we going to do this? And certain moments call for certain pieces. But I think what you just said there is leadership, though. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Is like, people follow you, right? Would you not agree?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hypercritical on myself, so I always feel like no.
I think in the people want to follow you. They feel safe around you. Like when we traveled, we had like 3 people follow us around Asia, and we didn't know what we were fucking doing.
Yeah.
Or at least like I felt like when me and Ash were showing people around, it was like, we're gonna go here, and it was like, okay. And I was like, okay, I guess we just look confident, but we don't know what we're fucking doing. And I think that happens a lot. Like people, like my family does that with me sometimes. Like when I travel with my sister, it's like, where are we going? I don't fucking know where the fuck we're going. We're just driving. I guess this is the right fucking way.
Yeah.
But for some reason, there's like some sort of characteristic that comes out that portrays leadership. And maybe that's why people feel comfortable like saying, okay, well, I trust Matt. So like he's saying eat liver, I'm going to try it. I'm gonna fucking try it. And it's the same thing. Like, why do we follow Paul?
If anyone watching feels would agree with us, let us know. If you disagree, let us know.
Yeah, let's pull Jamie in, because I'd love to fight with him.
Luke and I are someone you trust and follow, or not. It's hard for me to say, but yeah, we've been in some pretty crazy situations.
Yeah, I think
like together or by ourselves.
I'm just sending this to Jamie. Hold on, he'll be in here in a minute to fight with us. Jamie's been in a fighting mood lately. If anybody knows Jamie, he's just been ready to fight us on everything. We tell him how to snatch, and we're like, hey, keep the bar close. He'll be like, nah, man, fuck you. Keep the bar away. Like, I think if you smash it off your hips, it's better. So Jamie's just been in a fighting mood lately.
Trill says very trustworthy, good sense of judgment.
For what?
Just how we are.
you think that about us. I appreciate
Yeah.
you, Trill. Trill's like a kind-hearted person. Trill, I'd love for you to hop in here and we'll talk through it. At one point in my life, I tuned in for like 10 minutes and you didn't want to get in, Jamie? The fuck? My guy's too good for us now. He's
Yeah.
done. He was going to be a part of the podcast at one point. At one point in my life, I wanted to be like a psychiatrist or psychologist, but I think a psychiatrist would have been better because I'd be a doctor.
But that just proves like you were finding your values. Like psychiatrist, coach,
Yeah.
like there's still this piece of you that wants to help people. Which I think like, you know, whatever one of your values links to helping people. Do you have one?
For helping people,
Yeah.
one of my values, I think that leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, I could also just put like coaching. Drop the link again. The StreamYard link. Apparently it dies out. I don't know how it works, but
Doing a face mask. Oh, Trillis.
doing a face mask. All right, Trill. Personal healthcare Sundays. Trill loves this time without us around.
Yeah.
Here's the little fucking beta. Let's fucking fight with him.
He's in the car.
Let's
Who's
fight.
in there?
Let's
Sydney?
fight, dude.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we've
where are
been
you guys
waiting.
going?
We are off to the Innings Music Festival.
My God, you guys are partiers.
We went to a festival on Friday. I
Yeah,
worked
party.
yesterday, and now we're off to the next one.
Let's go. We
Nice.
still drunk from the weekend?
Nah, Sydney might be.
I'd like to, we're talking about values today. You guys do stuff like this all the time. What value would you guys associate this with?
Oh, the music festival.
Yeah, you guys do stuff like that all the time.
Oh, quality time.
Yeah.
Similar
quality time.
interests.
Would you
Similar
say
interests.
that's like the biggest thing? So when you guys say quality time, what's your biggest piece of quality time you guys do together? Like, is it sitting on the couch every night for 30 minutes and
Oh.
just cuddling? Is it watching TV? Is it walking the dog? Is it talking about work? Is
I
it
would- no, I
cooking
would say,
dinner?
like, well, I would say on a daily basis, it would just be like, yeah, spending time together before you go to bed. But on like a weekly or monthly basis, it's like doing fun things and like getting out of the
Yeah.
house and like
This is our Super Bowl of the month.
This is.
Well, no, next week we're going to the beach with everyone.
Oh, we have a big month. We have a couple Super Bowls in March.
You guys have had a couple big.
But Sydney,
big
is that like a goal for you guys to do something big every month?
No, but it's like
No.
this is
Okay.
something that I would love to do, and this is something that he would love to do. So then, like
Yeah.
when we do it together, it's like this is so cool.
Yeah.
Would you guys? So if we had to throw a tag, because I think you guys do that stuff all the time. Like Jamie hates not working for the most part, like right, but he was down to go to Europe and spend money because it was, I think, very adventurous for him.
That's true. Yeah.
So, like he doesn't like getting like leaving his. I think you
Yeah.
got you. I think you're pretty routine too for the most part, Jamie. But you also are like down to like fucking go do crazy shit.
Yeah.
And when I say crazy, it's like you're gonna go to Europe and then you're gonna
The day has to be more worth it than the money he would make at work.
correct, which is like, yeah, no, that's super true. He has said that literally to me all the time. Like he's like, nah, I'm not gonna come home and do Murph because it's not worth it. I'd rather make the money. He has said those words about multiple
Yes.
events.
That sounds
Yeah.
exactly like him.
I would say though that now that I'm in this new job, I'm straying farther from that because I don't need to like grind as much. Like I'm in a better spot where it's like, all right, I can take that day off. And and previously, I was making my own schedule, and now someone else makes it for me. So like, I kind of get what I get, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm okay only working 4 days a week because like that's all I really need to do to be all right.
Survive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it just at some point you start to just fade. You start to just get tired. I think you just see value in other things in life. Like you're in a
Absolutely.
relationship now, you're happy, you're basically married, dude.
Don't say that to Sydney. She said we're basically married.
But no, you get my point. You're like, it's like a different thing. Like if you worked every day, would that make Sydney happy?
No.
No, and I want to spend time with her too. So I don't wanna
Exactly.
work
So
every
those
day.
are values right there.
Yeah.
So if we had that, do you know your values off the top of your head?
CrossFit, boats.
Sydney. There's three. No, I mean health and wellness, I guess. You know.
They'd
What
be
I'm
good to
reporting
answer
a
the
lot.
question about.
For
If
the
it needs to be the
festival, right?
same.
Okay,
Do you think?
48, 38. Holy
I
moly.
was waiting for
that.
It was $10 at the other festival on
Look at
Friday.
this guy. He loves money.
Haggle. Look at him.
No,
Cut a
Brad,
deal.
the Reggae Rise Up. $48 for parking.
Yeah.
He's
Tell him
haggling.
you'll give him 32.
Yeah.
I don't know what about nothing else. Only this one. It's 48.38. I'm telling you.
All right, thank
Anyway,
you.
What you're gonna do is see those cars build up right down there.
All right, boys, I'm gonna bounce.
Okay.
We're gonna park
Right.
and then start walking over.
All right, have
Tell her
fun.
you'll give her 20 and you'll park the car yourself.
I should have just been like, hey, yeah, I should have just slid her cash. but
That's
this one's
another one of his
cashless.
values is saving money.
Yeah, getting the
Alright.
best deal.
He's a haggler.
Do
All
what
right,
I
have
can.
fun. Have fun.
I can't become a billionaire if I'm not saving money.
Sorry about that.
Is that your goal?
No. All right, I'm out.
Okay.
If
See
you
ya.
guys do today's workout, let me know what you guys get because I think I got a pretty good score.
All right.
All right.
We're
You're not going to tell us?
I got 11 plus 8.
All right. Nice, dude.
Damn, it's
So that
fast.
hang clean, box step up, or box jump, and push at 1.
Oh, sweet.
Hang clean and jerk, actually. All right, adios.
All right. See you, dude.
Peace.
Where do we think we're gonna?
Jamie, dude. That's my guy.
Poor James.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Jamie. We didn't even get asked him that question about values, but yeah, there's a lot to dig apart, a lot to rip
Yeah.
apart. I'm not educated enough on values.
What do you
Because
feel like you're missing?
I feel like I'm missing a greater understanding of maybe more people or myself.
Oh,
Talia is here.
back from her face routine.
You guys have talked about your values and ask other people, but how do you, like, if you're somebody who doesn't know your values, how do you how do you sit down and decide what your values are?
Well, let's work with you here. What are your values, Trillion Yanchek?
I don't know. I feel like it's hard too when you hear other people and you're like, oh yeah, like I like that value, like that sounds good. And you're like, well, I don't want to just steal other people's value.
All right, what's the most important thing to you? The most important thing, like you would do right now. What comes to your mind?
Like when I think about what's valuable, I think that I want to be.
Wi-Fi.
She doesn't have Wi-Fi. She probably has like one bar.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're just cutting in and out.
Just talk slow.
We don't have Wi-Fi. Like I want to be a good person. Like I feel like we've talked about it, and like everybody has bits of evil in them, and so I think like putting in positive, good contribution to the world and like making a conscious effort is important.
Okay, so what's one word that we can use that will define that? Because like I said, it's different. Like my definition of health is way different than the next
Yeah.
person's.
So your definition of a good person too is going to be way different.
Yeah.
Than
Yeah.
somebody else.
How do you define what a good person is?
I guess the first word that comes to mind is compassion, like being compassionate for other
Okay,
people.
so like sympathy and empathy
Mhm.
would be how I would define compassion, right? Like, hey, this person is compassionate. They have, what does compassion look like? They have sympathy and empathy. Perfect. They understand feelings, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then defining that, how's that look?
I just think that even if you don't agree with people, like you still try, like it's like what you guys say about like the liver and stuff. Like a lot of people not disagree, like might not agree with you, but I think being compassionate about other people's feelings and their views, like, hey, I don't agree with you, but like if that really works for you, I support that.
Okay. So genuinity, is that like a word? Like if we're trying to define one of her values, is like, you're saying that, is that for yourself? Is one of your values that you need to be that way, or one of your yeah, right. That's how it would have to be. It's like one of your values need it. That is that you? No.
Oh, I was waiting for her to answer.
Yeah, I think so. Then it's like easier, like it would be really to have you, like myself do it, but then also have Matt do it for me, because like the values that I might think I have and then the values that my partner sees that I put out into the world might be totally different.
But like to Luke's point, what he said earlier, like I don't know you. I don't know what you're thinking. Like I'm only seeing what you're projecting though. Like I'm never gonna know your internal monologue. So like for example, like let's say you want to be super empathetic, right, towards everybody. I might not see that. I might not know what's going on in your head. And if you're trying to be empathetic, I might just be like, wow, she's being a total bitch right now.
Yeah, but isn't that the interesting part? Is like
Yeah.
my internal values might not even be like what actually comes across to the people that I'm trying to like.
Yeah.
That's just what.
All right. So you're trying to be empathetic. We need to massage that a little bit.
Okay.
What that looks like. What else do you have?
I feel like Luke said, I kind of like health is definitely something that's important to me. It's different probably than other people.
Yeah, I think for you, health kind of layers into like you just want people to genuinely care about themselves. I think that's what health means for you. Like if somebody wants to eat something, you're fine with it as long as it makes them happy. And you don't want somebody killing themselves. Like if somebody was eating In-N-Out every day and all day, you'd be like,
we got to define that. I mean, when you say health, are you just talking about you personally?
No, I think I think health should be a priority or a value for all people, because I think health, you don't have anything. You can't, anything else that you might want to do in the world, it's literally impossible if you're unhealthy.
So if you're seeking a partner, you would look for that.
Yeah, and I mean,
I think
it's a lot about balance. I think being healthy is a balance between like eating well and being active, but also like indulging occasionally when you want, because it's about balance. But like if you're sick in the bed and you can't get up, like you don't really have anything else.
Okay, question on that. When you're sick, what would one of your values be that you would be seeking for in a partner? That would be that kindness, right? That would be that compassion, that sympathy, empathy of like, hey, Trill's in bed, like I need to cook her soup or I need to do this. She asked for this. Like I'm going to go do those things, X, Y, and Z. But then there's a fine line of somebody abusing that power, right?
Well, that almost seems like that would be that caregiver goal, like your dad and your mom.
Yeah, they're caregivers.
Like
one of their values.
They would give care to anybody
for all day, every day.
Stranger.
Yeah, like hey, you're sick. I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
But it's also weird because like going on that caregiver, if that's your value, I mean, it's a fine line. If you're spending all your time constantly caring for other people and constantly putting your energy into other people, like, and you're never putting energy into yourself, it's like one of those things where all of your values in extreme or in excess could almost be detrimental. Like if health is your value and your value is CrossFit and you're doing CrossFit like 6 times a day and you're super sore and you're wrecked and you can never move because you're so like, I mean, anything in excess could be
well, that's the extreme. But then right, your other values layer in there. It's like, cool, one of my values is health, but my value of health is massive. One of them, it includes moving, so working out. Doesn't have to be CrossFit, but also it's longevity. If I can't move, I'm doing too much, I need to step back, because then I'm not even following my own value. Does that make sense? Yeah, so I think it kind of layers in with everything and anything. Is like if we're doing too much, or like Sundays, right? If you were like, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z on Sundays. Here's a better one. I want to go to Handlebar Cafe on Sunday. It's really important to me. But everybody else around me like does not give a fuck, for example. And I'm not saying anybody did that. I'm using the real extreme and twisting the story. But it's like, no, we're going to do what we want because fuck you. And it's like, I view it this way because I felt like I was doing other things for other people, felt like I met everybody else. Like, right, we stayed at the gym and we talked to the members for Matt, made him really happy. And we cleaned the gym for him and we did the bathrooms and we went to the beach and we walked the dogs and then we painted clay pots because that's what Trill wanted to do. And then like, for me, I'm like, cool. Well, we did everything everybody else wanted to do, but then we didn't get to go to the Handlebar because the tribe around me didn't give a shit. Right.
So you're saying you're conflicted because you have this value of tribe, so you want your people there.
Yeah.
And then you have this value of, I don't know, I'm going to make one up to say a routine or whatever Handlebar gives you.
Yeah. Fulfillment. I don't know. Yeah.
And so they're clashing because your tribe's not on the same page of.
Yeah. Do you think that, so that kind of goes back because, right, I was trying to remove the word relationship.
Yeah.
And just kind of like your overall connection and values.
Yeah.
So do you need similar values of your partner to have a good relationship? And we're going to remove the word partner and just that's everybody around you, like anybody close to you. Do you think you need, I want you to answer your own question. I don't know if what I just said there was just a lot of jubble and it doesn't make sense. So guys, cut that out.
It makes sense. I think, I mean, I personally have similar, they don't have to be the same. I think for successful interpersonal relationships with people that you're close to, but I think it's double-sided because If they're not similar, then I think you have to default to good communication. If you have different values, but you're able to communicate well and be like, this is what's important to me, this is what I aim to achieve today. Maybe it's not the same as your goal or your value for today, but this is really important to me. I think they have to be similar for in the long run, but I think if you're good at communication, there are better ways to navigate when your values are dissimilar.
Yeah, I would unpack that. I think, like, to your point, I think the more similar they are, the easier it is.
Mhm.
But not to say they could all be complete opposites, but the two people have a super aware sense of each other's values, they could probably still make it work. You know, I could be like, hey, this is important to Luke. What can I do that I'm not going to sacrifice my values, but make it work for both of us?
Mhm.
Yeah. But then it's you're spending all your time doing different things because your values are so different.
I don't think every situation has to be every value. I think ultimately it works. Like I would say both of you are very
You got to be
tribe
in tune,
oriented, right?
Like you can't just be like,
Yeah.
I don't know what. Like if we use the bar scenario, right? Like Luke really loves to go out and be social. I really care about my health. We both know our values super well. So I'm going to be like, yeah, let's go to this health bar. It's a bar, but they also have these pure carnivore bait, like Paul Saladino's bar. Not that that would happen. Like that's what I would pick. Luke would come. He would get something to eat. He'd be happy. I would come. I'd get my drink. I wouldn't get obliterated because I know that Luke would look at me like a slob, but I still get my alcohol and my socialism that I wanted out of that. But you have to be super and hyper aware of each other's values.
Yeah, you'd have to be super self-aware, that self-actualization model. But I think my bigger point was more, if one of your values is tribe, it's like, I need to be very understanding. It's like, hey, this person is my tribe.
Yeah.
This is my inner circle. We're going to do what they want.
Yeah.
Like it makes them happy. That makes me happy because it meets one of my values. Because I don't think you have to meet every value at once.
No.
Like Paul has said this in his book. It's like, hey, it's their birthday. If eating cake will make them happy, I think you should eat the piece of cake. Even if it's a bite. Like it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
And if it's their values and it's going to make the memory like a really strong connection and memory, that's really important. And that's more important to me. It's like that kind of layers in with health. Like if we went to NoHo and we went past Salt and Straw, I'd be like, I'm going to get some Salt and Straw because it's going to make everybody else here happy, but it's also going to make me really happy because it's like, it's connected with really good memory.
Yeah.
Or like the rosé wine is like, I don't even drink, but I buy it because it's like, it brings me
We
back to
forgot
the
about
connection.
that.
Yeah.
We didn't even touch it yet.
But it brings me back to like, it's really important to me. And like the sense of like, everybody else knows I don't drink, you don't drink, Trill doesn't really drink. And we all were like, we got to get the rosé. Like,
It's a good point.
there's something that is there. And I don't know what it is. It's one of the values that layers in somewhere.
It's kind of funny. I was just thinking about it when Matt was mentioning the bar, like not to call anybody out, but I feel like you guys have a good friend who has very dissimilar values to you. Like one of your very close, like one of Matt's closest friends has a lot that I would say are very dissimilar. And yet I feel like you guys have a very good balance in how you manage how different your values are.
Yeah, I agree. I think that goes hand in hand with like your morals too, where like your values and how you see things and how you kind of like counterbalance things, maybe is a better word.
Yeah.
Like,
I doubt that you would be surrounded with a person who's got the anti version of you where every value is opposite. I doubt that'd be a scenario you'd probably fall into.
Yeah.
I just don't think you would even really end up.
Yeah. And I think most people don't do that.
Forming a bond.
Yeah. I think, right, if somebody becomes in a romantic relationship and it's a really bad disconnect, it's just because it's a sexual purpose. And I think that's where like online dating might alter things where it's like, hey, I'm going to pretend to be so-and-so because I want to fuck you. And then like you start hanging out and it's like, yeah, this doesn't work like at all. Like I think when a relationship happens and people are in a romantic relationship or a partnership and they break up and neither of the parties are really upset, it's kind of like, you deep down knew. I think if both people are super distraught or upset, it's like maybe there was this like strong, I think it just kind of pulls itself together. Same thing with friends. Like me and my friend, the cat scat, we'll use his nickname, we're really close and we shared all the same values. And I think we both really pulled away in values. And it was kind of like, we see eye to eye and we're okay with the friendship being where it is because we just understand like, hey, his values are here, my values are here. If we are friends, is it going to really go anywhere?
Yeah.
type of deal. Like, right? I feel like values separate you.
But also, I think your values changed, both of you.
100%. They definitely changed. And that's how I think like the law of attraction works too, is like we wouldn't be friends anymore if our values didn't stay in line with each other in some sort of fashion, right? Like we don't argue each other based off of each other's value. Well, Matt yelled at you for buying ramen yesterday, but also it's like the value is there. It's like, hey, she's Asian and she wants ramen. So like she's just trying to go back to her roots.
I'd be curious too, like, because in my opinion, I feel like as you're growing and as from a teen to a young adult, maybe you're seeing your values are changing a little bit more sporadically. But I feel like as you get older, they start to harden down and they just start to be like who you are. I mean, and I feel like the older you get, the more rare it's going to be that you're going to change values.
I agree. I don't think they change. I think what happens is they become more specific or more like you have a really better understanding of what they are. For all three of us, I think we're at that point.
Yeah.
I think it's like what Matt, I think part of it, at least for me personally, like the older that you get, the less you care about what people think of you. And I think the less you really care about how other people view you, like the easier it is to be a little bit more embrace your values a little bit more. Cause you're like, I don't really care what this this person doesn't agree with my value. That's fine. Like they don't have to be a part of my life. But like, release for me, I think that's part of it. I think when you're young, it's easier to be influenced by other people and outside opinions. And I think as you get older, it's easier to shut them out and be like, I don't agree with that.
No, I totally agree. And it's easy for you to kind of make the separation or like remove those people without caring. It's like, cool.
But that sounds like it would conflict with your empathy value.
No, I think understanding that they're different is important. I mean, I think being like the self-realization that they're different, but also understanding that just because they're different and we don't agree doesn't mean that person's necessarily wrong.
Yeah. It would go against too many of your morals or your values that would at a point be contradictory. It would be like, hey, this isn't benefiting or making me grow. Like, right, personal growth for me, if I'm surrounding myself around a bunch of fucking drug addicts, am I going to personally grow?
No,
potentially not the way I define what a drug addict means. Somebody else might be like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like they're going to be super beneficial to me because I'm going to learn.
Yeah. Like I value their opinions for themselves. Like I'm not trying to say that they're right for them. That's just not right for me. Like I understand it and I'm empathetic that you feel like that's important to you. And I support you in that. But that's just not for me.
Yeah. We got to get somebody who wrote some literature and interview them on values and understand it.
Right,
well, we're at that hour and 7. Thanks, Trill.
Bye. Have fun. Drive safe.
All right. We'll be back soon. Shit, she quickly left. She must have been over us.
Well, Nobo podcast.
It was deep, dude. Deep on the value train.
Deep. We'll lighten it up on the next episode.
Yeah. I don't know if we made much sense.
I think it was like self-exploration.
Yeah.
That's good.
For the both of us. I don't know. Like somebody like our friend Rick would be like, there wasn't much help here. I think if we're going to highlight what the 3 things were, how to help define or help you understand what your values are is like, well, how would we define that? Because I have like a really big sentence that doesn't define 3 bullet points. Bullet points would be like, understand who you are. And like the way you're going to do that is like, just figure out what's really important to you. Write it down. Like write a paragraph of like,
That's
hey.
like what you suggested to Trill. Analyze each day.
Yeah. Well, analyze each day. But I think like what's really important to you. And then like try to take those top 5 things in that and then write down 5 words. Could be any fucking word you want when you say health. And then after that, define what health looks like for you. Because there's no rule. Yeah. In my opinion, it's like, what does health look like for you? What does adventure look like for you? Yeah. What does family
if you
look
journaled
like?
your week, I guarantee you'd see all your values in almost every day.
Yeah.
Like you would see tribe.
Yeah.
You would see health.
Well, yeah.
You would see adventure.
Tribe would be like, I wake up every day. At some point throughout the day, I call Vince. Or at least talk about like, hey, did anybody hear from Vince today? Like if I don't talk to him, I normally come home and I'll be like, did you guys talk to Vince? Or when we get home, we typically all wait to have dinner together. Like unintentionally.
Yeah.
We'll even wait for Kendall to get home from work sometimes.
Yeah.
If it's not like super extreme, or if we know she's going to eat with us. If she says yes.
You'll go to CrossFit or do health. Or rock or a hike.
No matter what. Yeah. At some point, do something. Walk the dogs. Do something. At literally some point. Even if I don't feel good, I'll show up at the gym and just fucking do the warm up and part of the workout and then stop halfway through and be like, yeah, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
So yeah, to your point, just kind of do your day to day and see what the fuck happens. It's interesting.
I think another bullet point would be like get some outsider perspectives. I think that's always helpful.
Yeah.
Have someone else tell you what they think your values are.
Yeah.
From what they see.
Yeah.
Reflect on it. I mean, it doesn't have to be, maybe they're not right, but I think it'd be helpful in getting you started.
Yeah.
And then like you mentioned with Affiliate U is like just don't just write values and then just call it done. It's something you got to iterate on, explore more, you know, maybe write some values down, go through the month and be like, hey, am I really tracking against these? Is this actually me? Or are these just things that I thought were cool?
Yeah. It could also just be like the people you're around. Like maybe it goes against all your stuff, but you're not around a great group of people, or you're the type of person that needs to hang around people to kind of understand who you are or what you want to be.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, start doing CrossFit and all of a sudden that becomes their life 2 years in. And like, this is who I fucking love being. Yeah. I love being this person. And like, it alters your whole viewpoint on life.
Yeah.
Like one of my friends, like started CrossFit at my gym, then got into coffee, bought an espresso machine and started doing all these things. And it was like, these are really cool things. I don't know if they're important to that person, but that would be something for them to dissect and understand.
Yeah.
So I write those things down, dissect it, travel the world, be adventurous, and come up with the top 5 cities. Surprised Sydney wasn't on there. Australia. Deuces.
Oh yeah, that wasn't.
It wasn't.